Okay, everybody. I remember some of you were very excited to see this, just like I was when I got this dishwasher. And I just thought I'd just maybe give you some general updates on it, you know, how it's doing or whatever, and where we are right now. So first things first, I will say that in my first test video I did on this thing, I can't believe how oblivious I was to the cabana lines right over there. Let's just go ahead and go over to that. You can see the hose connected and everything. Now, we're supposed to get the cabana winterized. That was actually supposed to happen on Tuesday, and today is Thursday, so I mean, you can see how that's been delayed. But to be fair, that kind of works to my advantage because I'm able to make the video like this. So as you can see right here, I was doing cold water tests to start just to make sure everything was on the up and running, so to say. And then I recently switched to the hot water just to see how it would handle hot water and everything. But that's how you see how I connected it. So last time I made a video on this, you may remember that I had pointed out that when this was pumping and it was full, we had a small leak over there that I don't have the monopod on right now. I should be able to show it to you pretty easily, or where it was. You may remember it was like right on that. Give me a second here. Let me just the camera. Okay. All right. Let's see. There was like on that high line, that horizontal line of the pump right there. You see that? And you can see that a Tupperware lid that I put below it to catch anything. Well, the second time I ran the dishwasher with cold water, I was like, let me see exactly where that leak is so I can kind of catch it and see if I got to repair it. Well, guess what? It didn't leak, and it hasn't since. So I'm thinking maybe that could have been a residual leak from when I tightened the clamp. Oh man, is there a way to show it to you? Sorry. Yeah, when I tightened the clamp up there for the connection from the pump to the spray-on port, because when I first got this dishwasher, the pump was detached from the sump and from the spray-on port, so maybe you know, I just had to reset it back in and things like that. And those clamps are pretty tight and they're not leaking, so you know, I don't want to over tighten the clamp because that can crack the pump, and if that happens, the pump is no good, and obviously finding an older style one's going to be hard. So you know, it's not leaking, don't touch it. That's a good rule of thumb. And no leaks there, so that's good. That little reservoir right there, that beige thing, which is, you know, for where the filter system is, that's all good. This is the drain hose that I put on. There was one other issue I was having, though. Not in terms of leaking. Well, there kind of was, but that was more minor. Let me see if I can show it to you. Give me a second here. Gotta lay down. See if you can see it here. Shine the light on it, too. Oh, sorry, hang on. Okay. Do you see the support rod right there for the motor? You know what, let me get these springs off. Might be a little bit easier without those in the way. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, so this support rod right here for the motor, you see that? Notice this bracket right here? Initially when I had put this on, there were several times where when the dishwasher was either filling or went to drain, this rod, if you remember, would start sliding back and it would start bumping in to the motor fan right here, okay? And this is a metal fan, which is really nice. And like, you know, as it was draining, you would just start to hear this like horrible metallic clicking sound that slowly got stronger and stronger. And like, you know, I quickly unlatched the door to shut it off. And I kept thinking, I'm like, why does it keep doing that? What is going on here? Well, I found out this bracket right here, okay, this is what attaches, this rod attaches to the bracket, which attaches to the motor. This part of the motor right here, this metal, is supposed to go in between this seam here of the bracket. You see that? It's supposed to go in between it, and I was putting the bracket completely on the front of the motor, so it was never fully securing on, and it was allowing the rod to slide back and sometimes hit the fan. That's why that was happening. So I also found out that this was bent back a little bit, maybe when they were taking the dishwasher out of the house, I don't know. So this was bent back a little bit, and then I decided to take this off again, very gently bend it back with a pair of pliers, straighten out the bracket as well. I put the bracket back on and everything. Well, I put the rod on, reattached the bracket, nice and secure. Hasn't been a problem since, so I think that was the issue I was having. And then the other thing was, I know sometimes these can be a little bit of a problem sometimes. I mean, maybe this is probably like one of the benefits of the Whirlpool dishwasher with the reversing motor, because they don't have this, but on the drain valve, this only happened during the cold water tests. Sometimes on the very first drain, when it would go to drain, there'd be a couple of drops of water coming out of here, and that normally means that's because of the seal. And I'm thinking, oh boy. Well, the first thing I noticed was it only seemed to happen on the first drain, and it only ever happened during drain. And so any other time in between and the drains after that never happened. So I wasn't too concerned about that. Then I remember Jay telling me that, seals can be rehydrated if they haven't run for a while. Maybe it could be a problem. So, when I did those cold water tests, it definitely did seem to go away. So I was feeling much better about that. So then, let's see. Yeah, so I've done two hot water tests, meaning I connected the hose to the hot water and, fully purged the line, and then ran a full cycle on this twice. No drips whatsoever. Everything ran perfectly. Everything was all dry on the floor. Nothing dripped. Nothing leaked. Anything in that lid or from the valve seal there. So I feel much better about that. I know hot water can make things expand and make seals like soften. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe it just needed to be worked a little bit. And that's why I wanted to put water in the sump as soon as I could when I got the dishwasher down here, because that water that's kept in there is designed to prevent the seals from drying out. So that's why I tried to do that as fast as I could. So yeah, I did that, and then with the two hot water tests, it ran beautifully. No leaks, drain valve operated properly, motor sounded very happy, so I'm certainly happy about that as well. And there's one other thing I do want to show you guys too, which is kind of cool. Let me just go ahead and get these springs back on. Again, I just love how the springs on the front of the dishwasher, It's just the smartest design ever, really is. Okay, so some of you guys may remember I had said that the Potscrubber we had back at the Long Island house didn't have extra options. Well, that wasn't totally true. We actually did have a light wash on the one that we used to have, but it wasn't a button. It was actually built into the timer. You would have off, on, then like somewhere around here, there'd be the light wash option. So my guess is what probably happened was you'd probably turn the timer to that part till you heard a click, then latch the door, then it would start from there. So the way light wash works on here is actually pretty interesting. So when you turn it on and it advances, it does its first, fill and everything, but there's 2 or 3 other drains and refills in between before the main wash that it actually just ignores. So if you have light wash selected, as you hear the timer advance, you'll hear clicks as to where it would normally do a drain and refill, but it ignores it because of the button selection until it goes to the main wash. So that is kind of interesting as to how the light wash works, because this dishwasher just has a single speed on-off motor, like most of the vintage ones do. So I always wondered exactly how that would work. So I guess that's how it does it. It just does the one fill. It then skips the rest, and then just does the drain before the main wash, and then goes for there. That's pretty interesting. I haven't tried rinse and hold yet. Maybe we'll try that at some point, but for now, just keep it as is. And I know for a fact the heating coil does work well, because I've seen the basement lights dim ever so slightly while this was running, just to that kind of let you know that it's on or it's off, which is pretty cool. Now, the only downside, and this isn't really much of a downside, it's more of a personal preference. The only thing is this dishwasher does have a closing vent, because as the pump was building up pressure during the fill, at some point you can actually hear the, you can hear the vent get quiet as it's starting to go. So I don't know if that's built into the timer or if it's like by the water pressure, as stupid as that may sound. I don't know, just by the way it sounds. But I know as soon as it goes to drain, the vent opens back up and then closes again partway during the fill. So interesting how that all works. But aside from that, this thing really hasn't working great. The last 2 hot water tests I did, not a drip on the floor. Everything was dry. It was working out very well. And I'll go ahead and show you the inside of it. Just be careful here because I don't want it to tip forward. And you can see just doing the test runs is pretty much cleaning the inside of the dishwasher itself. Now I haven't put any dishes or glasses or soap in here yet. I just want to make sure this is like fully ready to go before I do that test. That test may have to wait a while though, because tonight's the last chance I have to do another hot water test before I got to turn that off so they can winterize the cabana. So, well, luckily for you guys, when I do that test run, I will make a video for you. It's not going to be a cycle video like where I just leave the camera on the tripod and it just looks at the dishwasher. No, I'm going to be holding the camera, showing some things here and there. Hopefully you guys won't mind me doing that. And then at some point I will do the tripod video, but even with the lower panel off, it doesn't sound too loud, all honestly. Like, it makes noise, which is really nice. But I'll tell you though, that drain valve, that thing is loud when there's no cabinetry or anything in front of it, because when that thing clicks, man, do you hear it, and it's really cool. As a matter of fact, I actually did get sound insulation for the dishwasher. And you can see it's right here. Got this from a repair clinic. So I'll put that on at some point, but I figure just for now, I'll leave it off just so you can hear how it sounds with no sound insulation and everything. And, you know, basically just hear the sounds of the vintage dishwasher, you know, and also like when you hear the water hit against the plastic on here, you can just hear the power in this thing, you know, like how like all the modern dishwashers, like the 2016 Gen Air we have upstairs, you know, you can hear it just kind of sprays the water, this and that. No, this thing has a pump that just forces the water onto it. It's like so nice to hear that kind of power, you know, especially during fill when you can hear the pressure buildup. And I just love how, like, when this thing goes to drain, like, you just, followed by that loud click, you just hear the inside go completely quiet and just sort of hear the water go down the drain. Now, there's no trap on there, so you hear it more, obviously, but I just love that. Like, when the valve trips, you just hear the inside go quiet and just drains. Like, I just love how it does that, you know? All right, guys, so I guess that's basically everything. You can see here just to connect how I connected the hosting again. All right, so then I guess what I'll do is next video for you guys, I will go ahead and do another hot water test for you. I'll probably just do, you know, no heat boost, and I'll just do normal wash. And, you know, you'll hear how it sounds and other things I might want to show you, okay? So there it is. Very glad I got this dishwasher. It's running great now, very happy about it, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next test video that I will show you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.